Oh, this could be the S guard. Whoa.
Figure out, you know, what things she couldn't get away with, what she could get away with, and that, you know, that information might be enough. But we're going to find out. Grand finals of Lagspike number 69, Anality on Terry versus Enhanced PV on Cloud.
Let's have a nice match here. Respecting what the shields are ready, although Cloud getting some charge there from the beginning, Anality not pushing in too hard. But as they're getting in close to each other, it's the first time that PV has gotten a hit, and not even for that much percentage yet. Anality just getting strong control so far.
Yeah, Anality actually like kind of playing mostly like a whiff punish game at this point. A little bit of, you know, baiting stuff onto shield. Does finally overextend there a little bit, a little too much pressure on the shield. He's going to break that momentum, but so far, Anality just kind of looking for what Enhanced PV's movement is going to look like and just kind of counterplaying it to pretty great effect.
Yeah, sometimes that's really, with certain characters who have those quick jabs like Terry does, sometimes you just kind of play around, and because you know your jab's going to be safe, you just kind of get your hits where you can, but really you're just kind of learning the gameplay more with the other person.
Right. Just try to figure out exactly where your openings are. Anality just punched through that blade beam on the way back to make that recovery. What a dominant move.
Oh, absolutely. And we know, as we were talking about, that PV knows Analyty's recovery right now. So just that beautiful KO survived through both of those go moves and then just looked for the up smash.
For all of the whiff punishing and all of the shield play Anality did there, ultimately Anality lost the stock and had the game even back up by just overextending and trying to throw something on shield that wasn't going to be safe, and Enhanced PV this time taking him right to task for it to even the game up.
And moving on from there, it's looking like Anality is now the one that has higher percentage, with PV about to have another limit, and there it is. We're going to see how this pops out. Anality manages to get over it. Those very high hops as Terry sometimes just make it so that the other person thinks that they have that safe aerial move, and it just doesn't connect.
Yeah, just trying to like bait out something that you can get over and land with one of those quicker aerials. I mean, Terry's got some pretty quick aerials that lead into combo strings. And if you can find those, call in the roll out with the grab right out to find the spike too. Enhanced PV looking for the lethal options here. Out for blood.
We saw Anality already lose one like this before and then even it up real quick. Might be looking for something. But now PV has that limit and did not respect it enough. That's going to give a solid chunk of percentage to Anality.
Yeah. It's still looking though, I mean, PV needs to try to get some more extra credit here before the stock goes, and Anality is just putting the pressure onto that shield, not letting PV out of the corner. Somehow still alive though, and actually managed to establish some distance. That might be what PV needs, but the rising tackle catches him out of Clim Hazard on shield. Even the stock's up, and this is basically, even at this point, 37% is not much of an advantage.
Yeah, I did not see the Clim Hazard losing that at first, and I was very confused when it didn't go as high. That was amazing counter by Anality right there.
Yeah, just using the charge version of that move to, there's some iframes on that if I remember correctly, to kind of slide through the Clim Hazard to find that hit. But PV looking really strong. This last stock here, racking up that damage. That cross slash opening puts Anality in a really bad spot. Now you got to deal with that ledge trapping. PV actually moving away from the ledge a little bit, giving up some space. The go moves are here to play though.
And keeping that space as you kind of want to do with the go moves until the other person has to push in. Anality looks like a lot of control over this. And PV had to throw out that limit this time, not able to hold on to it any longer.
Yeah, Anality is able to beautifully pressure that out and just even up this percentage here. Hasn't popped the go moves out yet, but you know they're ready, and boom! One roll is all it takes. Anality finds that opening and takes the stock. That's going to be the first game going to Anality.
Anality looking just to follow it up with 2 more, hoping for that quick win as you want.
But every game so far between these two, it has gotten closer and closer. Closer and closer.
Anality just looking for just enough of that momentum to carry them forward, and PV hoping to gain just enough knowledge to tip that scale. Immediately jumping right back into it.
There's just the PV, I feel like, is almost there. There's just a couple moments of like missed execution or just missed decision making, landing a little bit too close on shield or trying to go for an opening that just she doesn't quite have the frames for. But Anality, even openings that small, a player like Anality finds those openings and just punishes you crazy hard for it. Look at that shield play on that platform as well. So much movement from these two. I mean, they are just all over the place.
Managing to get up and around despite all the projectiles being thrown out. PV is now going for the offensive, but not able to hold it down, thrown back to neutral. And again, just having to throw out that limit, not really a huge disadvantage there, but you like to be able to get a hit with it.
Yeah, Anality really putting as much pressure up as possible, catches the shield drop there. Trying to find the ledge trap as well. The rising tackle that is going to take the stock. Anality now a stock up now. Only 61%. I think that Anality is starting to catch on to some of the things PV has been adapting with and playing around. And now it's going to be up to PV to try to figure out how to mix things up here a little bit.
Absolutely.
Especially... Oh, go ahead.
Some great knowledge from Anality here. Just learning this gameplay a little bit more. And I don't know if you picked up on this too, but there's a lot more projectiles being thrown out this match. From the both of them, I believe, especially compared to last match. We've seen them do it against other players, but specifically against each other, they're throwing a lot of them out this time, keeping that space.
Yeah, anything you can do to just check your opponent's momentum at a distance, prevent them from moving where they want to move, it pays out for a whole lot here. Especially when you're trying to shut down like limit charge, for example. You can force the limit charge to shield without having to actually put yourself in a bad spot.
And again, this time PV was able to punish the ledge grab going underneath, but Anality just went for it a second time and was able to make it safe this time. Gets them both back on stage, and Anality has that go move ready. Goes a little bit too early.
PV giving a lot of ground on that ledge trap there, but it pays off. Able to find the forward tilt and is just chucking out the blade beams now. Is that too far? It is. Anality just does not have that kind of distance. Stocks are evened up. PV down by quite a bit percentage-wise, and Anality just waiting on that Angel platform for as much of that limit break timer to go down as possible. Does not want to take that percentage there. Ends up getting ultimately hit regardless, but...
Only 9% from that. Not as bad as you can take from a full limit. So I think Anality probably feels pretty okay with that interaction there. Does need to be looking for this finish before this stock goes on for too long.
Yeah, PV is just trying to really play that spacing out with the sword. That Clim Hazard could have been a problem, but just did not fall with it to vary up the momentum there and was able to sneak out. Only temporarily, though. Anality closing in on the stock here. Looking for these big lethal options. The rising tackle is going to pop PV right out of that shield.
Was thinking there was some really strong shield play right there, but Anality knows how to read that and how to get it just at the right time. Anality is now up 2 stocks and looking to keep that momentum going, but PV does not want that to happen. Goes from a cross slash and then to a Clim.
PV looking for every spare hit she can find, but it's just not quite racking up to enough compared to how consistently Anality is getting in right now. That grab does put Anality out to the ledge, perhaps. Nope, air dodge right back in, and that means PV still needs to do quite a bit of work to find this hit. PV looking for a way to punish around those power waves, but gets grabbed for it instead, and now stuck on this ledge. This might just be it. Oh!
A brilliant job throwing Anality the other direction and then being able to almost keep him out there. Anality slides in underneath and now has that ledge control.
Oh!
And the big hit. That's those go moves.
Wait. I need to catch that again on the other monitor. What? That was something to Power Guys, but what was the setup for that? Because that's the new one.
Was that a down
That
tilt?
was incredible. It popped PV up so high to set that up, and then that Power Guys are caught like at the peak of it. I don't think that was nearly needed as far as kill power goes, but certainly helped at least. So far, it looks like Anality might be taking another 3-0 set here to take first place.
It's the momentum that we've been talking about. Really wants to keep. As soon as this... Oh, there we go. Hopping right back in.
All right, here we go. This is it. PV needs this set to stay in the tournament. If Anality can take this, we will have our grand finalist.
This is that solid climb. Because even if PV takes this one, that's going to be 2 more matches for the reset.
Yeah, but look at that spacing off the bat. Look at that spacing off the bat. PV just playing it perfectly. 2 solid forward airs, 32% off of that.
Yeah, honestly, and then shielding through literally everything that had been thrown her way up until that point.
There's been a few times, though, where PV has gotten like the tech chase situation and just hasn't been able to capitalize with the punish. I feel like there's been at least a couple of games, at least 1 or 2 between these two, where if PV had just been able to capitalize on a few more of those, we would have seen them take a match here. So I think if we see that happen this game, that could be the game changer.
Absolutely. Although, again, having to throw out that limit early, both of them playing a little bit of a projectile game. Anality maybe just keeping that distance so that has to be a throw. Does not want to get hit, obviously, by the cross slash, especially with that full limit.
Yeah, the pressure is just merciless, maneuvering around these get off me options from PV. Still, even after getting hit by the Clim Hazard, right back on the stage, right back with the pressure again. PV just cannot catch a break. Enhanced is just trying to find some way. That shield got so low, the rising tackle did not combo this time. Enhanced PV gets to hold on to that stock for a little bit longer, but the go moves are online.
That thing that PV does, looks for that, makes you stand on the ledge just a little bit too long, and then finishes it from there.
Wow. Yep, just a little too long on the ledge, and that ledge invincibility did wear off, and just like that, the stock is gone. That shield getting awful low, though, but one more Clim Hazard. Another one, just as much damage as possible before this stock goes away. PV is just stalling on the ledge here. Look at that. Trying to find something cheesy to just get back onto stage safely. Able to maneuver back to center stage here, at least. Still not dead.
It was a beautiful job getting back onto the stage, but Anality makes that roll read and is able to finish it off there.
Yeah, it's ultimately, PV fought tooth and claw. Enhanced PV fought tooth and claw there for every little bit of extra credit, and still was only able to get just that little bit, but is coming back on this stock too pretty strong, and that limit is almost charged again. That's something Anality really needs to be considering. You've seen Anality kind of play more of a zoner kind of play style when given the chance here, just throwing those power waves out, forcing PV to jump, and then punishing the aerial in, and that's been fairly consistent for him so far.
Yeah, Terry, absolutely a character that if you're going too much while he's throwing out those projectiles, he's got those moves. He's got that anti-air that'll just make you hurt for it. You have to play very carefully while approaching.
Yeah, PV, though, just going off right now. Has every correct answer, has the ledge trap situation. Not able to punish it, though. Every time Anality is able to reestablish that space, it just seems to go poorly for PV. Once she's got to deal with that power wave, it's really hard to get in, and Anality has played around that projectile so well so far.
This is that tight period of time, though, where we almost have limit, and we definitely have go moves on. So it's just see who can pop it off, and there we go. That was PV's look. She saw it, she went for it, she made it happen. That shield into the hit.
so many particle effects there, and then knowing that the Clim Hazard, the limit Clim Hazard, was going to kill off the top of that percentage too. I mean, that definitely takes some knowledge, and it paid off right there. PV though might just be losing the stock right back. We are going to a last stock situation. Again, percentages not very far apart, but PV so far has been pretty solid in this neutral in these situations. Might have what it takes to finally take this first win here.
Anality, though, getting that percentage back even, going for those jabs, moving them into those power hits.
PV punishing for the power wave that time, had just the right spacing to be able to get over it, and finds the spike this time with the rising tackle as well. Just like we've been seeing before, looking for that recovery, knowing the angle it's going to come at, and just working on that timing. This time the timing was right on point, which means Enhanced PV is still alive, and we're going to a game 3 here, or game 4 here.
I love that too, because it had been a little while since PV had used that specific move to cancel the recovery. As we talked about, PV knows that recovery is coming, saved that move. That's the one she knew would work, waited until the moment when perhaps PV hadn't been thinking about it as much, and went for that one.
Yeah, and Anality, you know, the buildup of the adaptation over time here is finally starting to make Anality sweat quite a bit. You're seeing even like that zoner style kind of play where Anality's falling back when possible and throwing out the power wave to force the jump. PV's spacing that really well now and able to actually jump over and just punish it on the end lag. But this first stock, Anality just came out swinging two burn knuckles into the rising tackle right off the bat. I mean, that's a significant chunk of damage to lose that early on.
Absolutely. Hit the limit, though. Perhaps that percentage is going to help. Not with the power dunk, though. It was looking like maybe we were seeing Enhanced starting to gain some momentum, but Anality not letting that happen again.
Enhanced PV went in there, didn't have an opportunity to make a save hit, just footstool jumped off to retreat. Just to keep them thinking, you know, dash attack on the ledge too, the aggression here. Look at that percentage already even right back up.
Absolutely. Plus limit and Anality at 99%. And now has access to those go moves, but very carefully kept them away there. Waited until it had a move that was going to knock him off the stage.
Enhanced PV is just trying to keep the movement as confusing as possible so there's not an opportunity. The power geyser does miss, but not from close enough to really retaliate. PV looking for a chance. Did Anality just use Buster Wolf to retreat?
That's what I was thinking too. I was going to let you finish, but I was like, that was a very unconventional use of Buster Wolf.
I like it. Dash attack again, waiting out that ledge invincibility. Anality taking a little too long to pick an option, and PV seems to have that timing locked down for that, but Anality comes right back with the jab to power dunk to even these stocks up. We're 2 stocks apiece, 0%. This is as even as it can get.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 stocks right now for both of them. It's looking like a dangerous game.
PV just trying to like fall back, charge limit. Because, you know, normally when limit comes online, a lot of folks are thinking about, you know, the limit break moves. You know, the Clim Hazard, or the limit break cross slash, limit break Clim Hazard, stuff like that. It does give you, though, a movement speed buff. Oh, no, we actually just saw, unfortunately, go the wrong direction, but limit got used pretty much immediately there. PV found an opening and got some solid damage in regardless, though.
Yeah, not able to super capitalize with the limit, but we've seen before PV throw out that limit and then just use that to kind of throw off the other person. So even, you know, a whiff, able to make use of it.
Yeah. I have been noticing, though, Enhanced PV likes to give a lot of distance on the stage there, and maybe giving up some opportunities to ledge trap a little bit more effectively. Those extra chances for Anality to get back, I mean, sometimes, given a player of that caliber, that space is sometimes all they need to get back into a game, but at the same time, you know, there's a lot to be afraid of. I mean, there's a lot of real quick stuff Terry can just absolutely brutalize you for.
Oh, yeah, I mean...
misplay.
And there's the kill. Slight misplay. Going kind of the opposite scenario we've seen where Terry pushed in the air trying to avoid stuff and just that quick, strong hit. But yeah, as you were saying, Terry, I mean, we just saw it earlier, Terry popping off from a ledge, and being able to crack a solid shield with the crack shot.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. You know, that read to take that stock, I mean, PV, once again, like, just kind of dashed in and threw an up smash out, knowing the jump was coming. Really, really takes a lot of knowledge in figuring out your opponent's habits to be comfortable doing something like that, knowing how hard you're going to get punished if you whiff on that.
Absolutely.
There's a tech chase with the dash attack, too. Limit break almost online. PV looking for something here.
PV at a strong percentage lead, but Anality has the go moves now. Being able to pop those out could finish this off, but have to get him close to edge. And PV, she is not letting that happen. Lots of projectiles thrown out. PV trying to hold center stage, and Anality did not want that kill to happen again.
Oh no, that's gonna be it. The one jab opener. Wait. PV's still alive. Never mind. That does not quite kill at that percentage. PV still is going.
Holding on, playing very carefully with that shield, using up a lot of it. That's about 50% of the shield that was gone right there. And
oh no, that's it. The jab
on a dive, still not a kill at 139% with a limit break. Terry's at 150.
Oh!
A dash attack is gonna do it.
EnhancedPV just bet it all on that ledge. Got up with the immediate limit cross slash, and then immediately throwing out the Clim hazard afterwards. And Anality with so much patience to wait out both of those hitboxes to armor through with that dash attack to take the stock. I mean,